Good evening. This is SerpentStare, and this is Symphony, Liberate Your Music. It is one of several games that exist now, most notably including Audio Surf and its ilk. There are other shooter games as well that take music from your PC, whatever you want to play, and make a track in order to make a game out of it. This game is not one that I am especially fond of, however, I do believe it's interesting, and I wanted to show it to you briefly, so that you could take a look. Now, because this is a game based on music files, avoiding copyright infringement may be difficult. For that reason, I am going to be surfing on music from OC, not OK. It is OK Music, but it's from OC, that is Overclocked Remix, which is a lovely website that exists online for celebrating and sharing video game music remixes. And the remixes that have been uploaded there are fan-made, and they are provided for free, and they are generally acceptable to use for projects for free. I'm going to start a new game, because I don't care about my old save file.
Does not happen by chance. It requires an intelligent soul.
And then we get this as soon as we start the game.
It is what I need to enter your universe.
And that sets up the story of the game quite adequately, which means that this is frankly unnecessary. And if you click cancel, it goes right back to it. I'll remove that folder and just add my favorite OC remixes to the game instead. Shouldn't be too many of them. So yeah, as by way of a tutorial, this game sets up a whole bunch of screens for you to click through and insists on showing you things one by one. Hang on. Is this broken? Huh. Well, that's never happened before. There should actually be a bunch of artists here. There we go. Okay, I know what happened. Okay, I'm fairly certain that what happened there is... I'm going to limit this to OC Remix, and only see the ones from OC Remix, the ones that I just added. I'm fairly certain that what happened there is because in my old game that I could have continued from the main menu, I had many more artists there, and it was registered as being set to look at an area of the list which was way far down the length of the list that I have now. And if that sounds like ridiculous, doesn't make any sense, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's play one of these songs from OC Remix that I already know that I like. I will add more later, but there's no need to put 3,000 songs onto this game's library right now. The music gets captured as it plays. You must liberate it. When you liberate some notes, they turn into yellow notes. That's even an awkward sentence, called inspiration. Gather inspiration to reach your score targets and create new items. You have infinite lives, but if your ship is destroyed, you lose inspiration. Collecting inspiration also repairs your ship. Earn bonuses by liberating entire waves. Enemies absorb and corrupt your music and your display. Destroy them to liberate it. So essentially, you can turn this off, but the basic nature of the game is that it will interrupt you every 5 seconds to put a wall in your face. More importantly, though, since I have my mouse available, this up here is inspiration collected, and I haven't actually picked it up yet. It's kind of like experience in Fable. You have to go and get it after you bust into the enemies. So as the music plays, these spaceships and critters, wireframe thingamies, will come out of nowhere, and they're kind of stealing the essence of my music. And this is going to be like tower defense kind of game. If you let them get away, they're taking the spiritual essence, the musical ingenuity of the music with them, and that is dangerous because it allows the demon into the world or something like that. But as long as you destroy them before they go off the screen, then your music is safe, you're protected, you've got lots of inspiration that you can spend, and all will be well. And as the thing at the beginning said, if you destroy entire waves, you can get a bonus. And the bonuses look like those larger notes, like that one there. I have now gotten 4 bonuses in a row, so it gives me a 4 chain. It seems like, whoop, yes, repairing my ship, I did get hit there. It seems like the larger enemies sometimes count as waves all on their own. And the lightning bolt thing also gives you a power-up, although I'm not entirely sure what the power-up does. It could be that it makes my gun more powerful, which would make sense to me. And you will see that as I hit enemies, as enemies hit me rather, parts of my ship get blown off. And when I collect the notes, they come back. I might be able to 100% this on my first try, which can be quite challenging. I don't know what breaks the chain. I think maybe getting damaged breaks the chain, because I don't think I've missed any of these. But I did get hit once or twice. So I'm imagining that missing any of the enemies break the chain. Not picking up the large note in time probably breaks the chain. I'm not sure whether not picking up the small ones does. But no, I just took damage then. So maybe you have to keep collecting them within a certain amount of time. I've played this game before, but I guess I never really figured it out. As evidenced by me not knowing what I'm doing. Oh, I might have missed that chain. 3 chain. I guess I failed to pick one up. But I didn't think there were 2 more that I did pick up since then. Yeah, I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this at all. Well, maybe that's not important. Maybe as long as I'm theoretically having fun, all is well. We've got these bird-like things. Now that was Mini Badass, based on the game Aquaria, by Danny Baranowski. I hope that was the remixer and not like the original composer, although it's nice to give the original composer credit as well. And as you can see, the credits pop up at the end of each song. Awesome! I did get perfect. This is actually my second try recording this, and I swear, I did not restart because I didn't get perfect the first time. I restarted because I failed to actually record me playing the game, due to pausing at the wrong time. Alright, so I go back to song selection, and the game will insist, they'll actually add inspiration if you don't get enough points. They'll insist that you unlock this first item before you do anything else. I can't click anywhere. Other buttons are disabled for now, and it'll even tell you, no, you have to unlock this. And the first item that they give you is always, every single time, a subwoofer. Yes, yes, yes. And once I get more inspiration and more kudos, I can upgrade that, make it a stronger subwoofer, and eventually I may be able to find in these songs, each song contains an item, I may be able to find one of the blasters that I have upgraded, and only once I find one, and I think I need to buy it, can I get upgraded blasters. If I were to play this again, it'll take me into the equip screen. Items can be rotated. The blue arc indicates how far they can be rotated. Which button controls each item? Yeah, you can do left button, right button, auto fire, or toggle the auto-fire with the right or left button. As shown, and you've got arcs, you've got these 4 different weapon mounts. The ones on the edge can be rotated way back there if you really want to. Have some kind of crazy crossfire pattern. However, you may have noticed that some of the baddies that you find have shields which move from forward-facing to side-facing, and this is why. It's not just so that you can get the chance to hit them, it's because you can actually have sideways blasters if you want to. Now let's equip the subwoofer. The special thing about the subwoofer is that you can't control it. You can't turn it off, and you cannot control it. It will fire with the beat, and it's particularly powerful, which I guess is a trade-off of not being able to control it. Let's do one more before we take a break. And let's make it a random one again. I am not sure whether this game hides whether the item which is in each song, although it's really great to have that play through me again because I didn't actually play the song, and to have this come up again despite the fact that I have already seen it and then finished the song. These are some of the reasons that Symphony is annoying. It's not a bad concept, but it fills your face with tutorial walls that you have to click past. And there's a degree to which I don't see how the waves are actually influenced by the music at all. I mean, they do go faster. They go faster and they get more aggressive when the music is more intense. And I think that's all that happens. It'll spawn enemies when there's nothing going on in the music track. It will fail to spawn enemies when the music is intense. So one of the things that AudioSurf definitely has over Symphony is that the track, or the enemies, the challenge, the substance of the game is influenced far more by the music. And with what's going on here, it just seems to throw in enemies randomly, and it doesn't really seem to be triggered by anything. So, I put it on random, and it gives me Nazi Requiem. Thank you. This is a track from Doom. Not Doom, sorry, no, not Doom. There is another track from Doom that I know very well. It's called Asphyxiated Soul. This is not it. This is from Wolfenstein, the old Wolfenstein games. And, it's not likely to give me a copyright strike, but it could be offensive to somebody. But then, YouTube is a place where we're allowed to express ourselves, and possibly be potentially offensive, and be a big happy community anyway, right? Theoretically. The internet is fairly good for that. Alright, now I think at the next song, or maybe the one after that, it's going to give me the opportunity to change my difficulty setting. Because so far, we are playing on pianissimo, which, as a musical term, means the softest possible volume. Which, unsurprisingly, in this game, means it's the easiest difficulty setting. Because the difficulty setting names use the names of... that was just a setup. They use the names of musical volume instruction, which are from Italian, in case anyone cares. Fortissimo, pianissimo. Doing some kamikaze fighting there again. Nope, don't you. You're not going to get away from me that easily. This game does have achievements. Most of the achievements are tied to getting 100%, that is, destroying every single enemy in a song without dying once. Or some combination of those two traits. You don't always have to do both of them at a given difficulty setting. And naturally, as you would expect, as you should expect, this becomes more difficult in the higher difficulty settings. right. It's starting to feel like the entry of the enemies into the field here is influenced by the rhythm of the music, so that's something. Although I don't think the quantity of notes has anything to do with it so far. I could be wrong. I think it's just pace, which, you know, is slightly influenced by quantity of notes, so it might sound like I'm talking out of my ass. Speaking of which, I suppose there goes any chance that I had of this being a video in which I don't cuss, but then I normally do. I love this track for being very atmospheric. And it's got a magnificent rhythm to it. Added on to the basic melody that makes it feel very marchy. I can picture like an army of soldiers marching to this, which I'm sure is intentional on the part of the person who made it, because that's the kind of imagery they're going for. It also has a lot of kind of false ends, places where it feels like it's dying out, but it's not over yet. And that was that from the game Wolfenstein 3D, brought to us by Maze Dude. I think he did a very good job. And that was me getting 102,000 points. And the 1812 Overture, which was my second item get last time. Incidentally, inspiration collected in Kudos Urns is based on the song. Where did it go? Hang on, return. There we go. Excuse me. So I could unlock this. And that plays kind of a dumb fanfare. I don't think you need to have any kudos to unlock things, which I guess is a bonus. Preview. Huh. I had forgotten about that feature, if I ever knew about it to begin with. Neat. So I can preview things, and that also gets the regular game music, the extremely serene background music, to be quiet. Well, to this jam and beat brought to us by Sir Nuts, called Proceed Without Caution, I am going to end this video with a smile on my face, because I am having fun. Even if it's partly due to having fun complaining. And come back and enjoy some more of this game with me next time.